Hi, welcome to another episode of 5 Business Rules. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Monica.
And today we are talking about how to go about conducting a year-end review of your marketing strategy.
And when should this be done, Nicole? Like December, November, December, or is it okay to do it in January once we kick into the new year?
That can absolutely work. And now, as it happens, it is October, and Monica and I are waiting for a client to arrive so that we can do a review with them. And so with this, it's still when at our timing, it gives you a little bit of time to get your last holiday in. But absolutely, if you're slow at the New Year's and you want to figure out what your strategy is, whenever you're doing your planning is a good time to do it. So there's probably, to say, a 3 or 4 month in. Once you're in February, you're already rolling into a new year. But November, December, January are great times.
Awesome.
Alrighty. So this is going to be somewhat online driven, but not a little bit, because some of the things is understanding where traffic comes to your website is a really good place to start. Because even if you are sending it from, you're doing a lot of PR, but you can see, are the magazines coming in and sending traffic to you, or the newspaper, whatever the publications are. Is your traffic coming from social media? Is it coming from your email marketing? It's a really good idea to see where are people coming from, so what's successful and maybe what hasn't been successful.
Yeah, and one other thing to look at is organic search. How many people are finding you organically, because that gives you an idea of how visible you are in a Google search. So look at that as well. That's a great metric.
Absolutely. And while you're into your metrics, figure out, some of it is, what do you want to be effective? So for instance, let's take it social. We want to look at social media and say, is it effective? And so one note with that might be, are people coming from Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, to your website? Is that your success metric that you want to kind of pull them over, sign them up for email? Maybe it is not so much you want them to come in. You actually truly want engagement on social media. You want likes, you want comments, and you want shares. Whatever your measure of success, and you should have one. If you don't, go watch the other videos that we've talked about on this subject. But measure that to a bit to see, are these efforts paying off, or are you just spinning your wheels?
Yeah, you have to have, it doesn't matter what your goal is for social media marketing or for marketing in general. I mean, to a certain point, you do want to make money, right? But you just need to know what to look for. Are you looking for an X number of comments or shares, and really creating a community and conversing with your people? Just make sure you have some kind of benchmark.
And this is really what you're doing with your year-end goal, right? Is you're checking your year-end review, You're checking your benchmarks to see how effective you are. Because social media is one thing, but whatever it is, and a lot of small businesses have this problem. They do a lot of marketing, and then they don't check to see, was it effective? And you can spend a lot of time and effort on your marketing campaigns, and you need to make sure they're paying off.
Yeah, don't do what's called hope marketing, where you put it out there and you hope it's going to work. If you don't check your metrics, you don't know if it's working or not. And you can end up wasting a lot of money, not just time, but a lot of money.
Well, and even if you do start with hope marketing, right? That's okay. But then check, was it right, before you keep throwing money at the same thing over and over again and continuing to hope. Figure out, there are lots of ways you can try, but you have to figure out if it was effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next thing to look at is, are there trends to your sale? And this can be, you can look at this in a couple ways. Do you peak in February, go down in March, and kind of go up and down? Or conversely, do you have some products that sell really good in spring and some products that sell really good in fall? Maybe these are, maybe this is something you already know, but sometimes it might surprise you. And the reason to do this is partly if you've been selling something a lot in May and you didn't, it kind of comes as a surprise to you. There's a hint that you should promote X product in May, but then put it away when when August hits, or wherever it is. And you also, when you know your peaks and valleys, it gives you time to strategize and say, okay, if I'm slow in April, this is when I'm going to do a new promotion.
Yeah, just don't make assumptions that X products sell X, during X months. One example is briquettes for charcoal grills. They kind of disappear out of stores in October and November, and where we live in the mid-Atlantic, that's still grilling season.
Actually, lovely grilling season.
yeah, you're not dying from the heat, out on the deck while you're grilling. So again, just don't make assumptions that because it's October and November, people aren't grilling.
It's true. Okay, next thing is check your customer churn rate. Now, if you are, to say a retailer and you're only expecting one occasional product, it's always good if you can get them back. But really, we're talking about people that are signing up for services, that are doing, whether it's a subscription, whether it's an ongoing service with you. When do they leave and why? That's really what you're trying to figure out, is why, so you can stop it or you can take steps to try and keep them in.
Yeah, churn rate is really important because it's so expensive to get a new customer, and it's easier to keep them once you have them. So you want to keep that churn rate low. You don't want to be acquiring, let's say, 5 new customers a week, but only one stays with you over the long term.
Or you lose 5 other ones because you're so focused on your new people.
Right.
That
Yeah.
you do
It's got to
that.
be a balance.
Right. And then last but certainly not least is how well do you convert leads? So if you have all these, let's say you looked at your website traffic and you see tons of visitors coming from Facebook, but then they don't do anything, right? And so then maybe you need to look at how you're doing your landing pages. Is it better? Figure out and how you can do a better job of turning them into customers. And this might be quick sales on the website, but it also might be maybe you're putting a lot of time into your proposals and they're just not they're not going there. And so
That's actually a really good point. Like, look and see where people are dropping off the cliff. Is it at the proposal level? Because they've already gotten so far down the sales funnel. At that rate, you feel like they're in the bag. But they might not be. What is the missing piece? And if you truly do not know, turn to a marketing strategist, someone who can be objective, who isn't as close to your business as you are, and can really, point out, boom, 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 boom. They'll do it faster than you will.
Mm-hmm. So some businesses are going to spend more time than others on certain pieces of it. But the point is, like I said, whatever your points are, go back and take a look at what's working for you and what's not, so that you can have a better next year.
Yay. Yay for 2019.
Happy New Year!
Bye.
Bye.